Okay, we've heard so much from you. If you just joined us, the program is Have Your Say, coming to you live on the network service of Radio Nigeria. And our guest is the Special Assistant to the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Mr. David Akuje. He's been speaking on efforts by government to foster national unity and integration in our country, Nigeria. Before we go on the break, don't forget the lines to call are 0807 622 6771 and 0705 149 3324. In case if you can't get through to us, just send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0705 864 2473. Don't forget the rules, like we said. Turn down the volume of your radio set to avoid the holdback and to allow our guests to respond and other callers also to get through to us. We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
Let's have some peace. Nigerians are peace-loving and hard-working people.
And countries only develop and grow when there is peace and stability.
There are different kinds of problems in every society, and so in every country.
If there are problems here, Nigeria is not an exception.
There is no society, no country where violence and public disorder has solved that problem.
No matter the problem, no matter the issue.
Let us sit down like brothers and sisters. Use dialogue to resolve the problems.
Remember, you have to give account of every action you take, if not here on earth, then before your creator.
Please let us work together
for a peaceful Nigeria.
Let us work together. Nigeria will be great. It's the only radio network in Nigeria. The network that attracts over 40 million high net worth individuals. Unarguably, the only radio channel that draws key decision makers through incisive and up-to-date news, scintillating sportscasting, and exciting programming. Radio Nigeria Network Service, the haven for discerning investors who wish to reach their target audience at the lowest cost per thousand. Your brand and corporate image deserve nothing less than a sustained exposure on a Radio Nigeria Network Service. Try us today.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
Yes, indeed. If you just joined us, the program is Have Your Say, coming to you live on the network service of Radio Nigeria. We've been speaking with the Special Assistant to the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Mr. David Akuje, on efforts by government to foster national unity and integration amongst the citizens, even as globally we celebrate the season of love, that is Valentine's Day. It's now time for us to take calls once again. Our lines are open. The lines to call 0807 622 6771 and 0705 149 3324. Yes, good morning. Your name and location.
Yeah, I'm Comrade Matthew Patrick Okoroka from Oblobridge at an Good morning, I guess, in the studio.
Yes, I can hear you.
I wish to call a national organization as a matter of urgency. And then their state officers to make sure close like national organization exists in all schools in Nigeria. Be it private, state, federal, junior secondary school or senior secondary school, grammar school, and our tertiary institutions. Autism is now rapidly in Nigerian schools. There is need for national education to find solutions to it now or never. You say a child in primary school behaving as if he has another extra power, which the national education has to do. Because in those days, now you ask yourself, where do you get the manpower? Make use of the core members as facilitators now. You can use them at least, give them stipends to encourage them. Because it is not good to allow our schools to be run down by cultism. Commerce Management Class, National Education, please, can you come out with a slogan that will educate Nigerians and elected Nigerians that, look, this is what the herdsmen and servants should be doing, how to cooperate so that Nigeria will move forward. The development of this country is our paramount importance, and everybody must do what paramount together, Tom, Dick, and Harry. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. Yes, hello.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Dania and the Special Assistant to DGNOA.
Yes, good morning, sir.
I have listened with rapt attention. You are speaking well. This is the radio senator, Mr. Andrew Ajayi, initiator Foundation for Character Reformation and Integration in Nigeria since 2003, where we have been preaching good character, transparent democracy, and living in peaceful harmony. I find it a thing of joy to appreciate Radio Nigeria for this particular topic today, because it has been disturbing me that as a nation of over 260 ethnic groups and over 374 languages and counting, even right from when Mr. Idi Farouk, Tony Radia were DG, even Dr. Larry Adebayo, I have been talking to them about the issue of the fact that Nigeria as our country must be a country where all citizens, irrespective of your tribe or religion, have Nigeria in your subconsciousness. Philosophically speaking, when a people have their country in their heart, the way Americans have America in their heart, the way Germans, Chinese have their countries in their heart, they will not do anything that will actually affect their country negatively. Right. They will not only be loyal, they will be committed and dedicated to the cause of nation.
Hello, Mr. Andrew, are you there? Okay, we lost that call.
Hello,
please, let's stick to the time. Just a minute. Just go straight to the point. Tell us what you think about the matter. Hello, yes, good morning.
I want to appreciate your guest.
Yes, he can hear you.
The national orientation has a lot of work to do in fostering peace and unity of this country. Because Nigeria today, we have witnessed so many crises, farmer header crisis, and the rest. And that is the area I want to beat my chest at.
All right, hello. Hello. Okay, I beg your pardon. You didn't tell us who you are and where you're calling from. Then go ahead, please.
I'm Judy Peme from Benue State.
Judy Peme, go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, let me talk about the farmer header crisis. Now that we're having population explosion, the demand for land is very high because most farmers now engage on livestock farming, just like your guest said, and the population of cattle has also increased. Now, we can't go back to the 70s when we have purpose grazing system because the population of Nigeria is growing on a daily basis. Now, what can the national orientation disseminate information? They can do in jingles, all the languages, telling the header that now the population of Nigerians is more than what we experienced in the early 70s. They should go into ranches. That is what we need now to ensure peace and unity of this country. They should embrace ranches. Okay.
Hello, okay, yes. Hello. Please, once again, just make your point straight to the point. Go straight to the point within a minute. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Chief Fidel Onyeneke, and I'm calling from Owerri in Imo State.
All right.
Now, I want to suggest that we must focus our attention on our political leaders, religious leaders, and other traditional leaders and other policy makers, because NOA should engage them so that they will get their utterances. Those who are leading must lead very, very well so that they will carry the people along. The policies that are supposed to touch positively on the lives of the people must be implemented so that people will know that they are gaining something from this country called Nigeria. A situation where our political leaders and policy makers go and make utterances that will divide the nation is not very, very good. Let me also say that we must now engage also the entire citizens of Nigeria and make them appreciate the fact that we don't have any other country we call our own except Nigeria. Let the government make sure that the...
Hello. All right, thank you. Hello. Yes, the line remains open. Let's take about 2 more calls, then we'll come back to our guest to respond. Hello.
Yes, Daniel, the radio senator, please permit me. I was going to hammer something
that is
important to the nation.
All right, just straight to the point.
Let me tell you, Mr. S.A., I want you to know that in every circumstances that happens in a nation, we must check for the nitty-gritty of the cause of that matter. That Nigerians are claiming that there is no love, that there is hatred, marginalization. Can we identify the roots? Because once you know the roots, all effort will now be placed on that cause and begin to solve it so that we can become great again. That we have headers fighting farmers, that we have people claiming that they have been marginalized from politics. There must be a solution to all these things I've told you. God bless Nigeria.
Amen to that prayer. Yes, hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning,
My
sir.
name is Chijukwuaja. I come from Duchizog in Imo State. Yes, law which every religion, including Islam and Muslim, preaches, is a silent norm for national peace and peaceful coexistence and by extension, national development, since there cannot be any meaningful development in an atmosphere devoid of peace. And therefore advocate for preventive measures to be adopted in preventing any and everything that will eventually trigger off any insecurity that will eventually, degenerate into avoidable civil war, including the quick notice given to the herdsmen in the country by some states of the country, which, if not properly handled, is capable of degenerating into religious problems as predicted by DSN some time ago.
All right, thank you.
I advise the National Detention Agency to actually synergize with media houses like Radio Nigeria, traditional rulers, NGOs, leaders of faith-based organizations, and others to educate Nigerians to know each other and live peacefully as a way of building a peaceful nation that will guarantee a national development. Finally, let me advocate for a ban on open grazing and then embracing of ranching in the country.
All right, thank you to Judu Gwaja. Yes, let's come back to our guest now. You've heard the contributions, you've heard the opinion of some Nigerians on the matter at hand. Your response?
I think these contributions are quite incisive. I'm particularly happy that Nigerians are indeed very aware of the problems and the solution. I'm particularly concerned about the issues raised by the last speaker. And he raised the issues of the challenge of quit notices being issued from various parts of the country to fellow citizens. The point to note is that such quit notices are completely illegal. They have no place in law and cannot be found anywhere in any part of our constitution to say that an individual or group of individuals from any section can wake up and decide to issue quit notices to another part, citizens of another side of the country. So those who are doing that are engaging in gross illegality, and if they attempt to actualize such this thing, they will be brought to book, certainly, and they will be shown the full weight, of the law. Now, on the issue of the question of synergy with Radio Nigeria, NGOs, faith leaders, and the issue of ban on open grazing. NOA has always synergized with traditional rulers and faith leaders. Only day before yesterday, I was in Nasarawa State for a town hall meeting with interreligious leaders on peace building in Nasarawa State. Now, before yesterday, we had done that also in Plateau and Kaduna states. Now, by Monday, this coming Monday, we're going to be in Benue State, holding another of such platform in collaboration with an NGO. Now, this has been ongoing even over the years, this engagement with traditional rulers and faith leaders, because we believe that they have a strong role, to play, and that their contribution to community understanding, to community resilience, is invaluable. So we work closely with them. We're also working closely with Radio Nigeria, as you already know. I'm a very familiar person around this place. The synergy, even between our bosses, is also very active and productive. Now, I agree that indeed we should take a serious look at ranching of some sort, And I did say to you that even at the level of the presidency, there's a national livestock transformation plan that is in the making, And this is looking at identifying states that are willing, to establish points where the whole idea of cattle can be turned into a business that will even generate employment opportunities and add to our gross national domestic product, GDP. And work is ongoing, at the level of the presidency on that one. Okay. Then I think Fidel Onyeneke also drew our attention to unguarded utterances coming from political leaders, traditional leaders, and he urged them to guard their utterances. And I agree with him 100%, on this. That's exactly what we are also saying, at the National Orientation Agency. If you're a political leader, a religious leader, or a traditional ruler, what you say, affects the way that your people think, those that believe in you, those that, influence you. And so we think that at a time like this, when tensions are mounting, when blood pressures are going up, the voices of political leaders, traditional rulers, and religious leaders should be on the side of peace and establishing and reinforcing national cohesion. So their rhetoric should not be such that worsens the problem.
Situation.
Yes.
All right. I think the other points that were raised are matters that we had already discussed earlier in the course of the program. For instance, Patrick Okorafor talked of user core members and to the need for NOA to tackle cultism. You've spoken about that. Andrew Ajayi's point, need to orientate Nigerians and look for the root cause of hate and disunity. Yes, would you like to respond to that very quickly? He talked about whenever there's a challenge in a country, there is the need to look for the root cause of hate and disunity if such a situation arises amongst the citizenry.
The root cause are found also in some of the issues that was raised by Fidel Onyeneke. You understand? We have identified the fact that Nigeria has not always been like this. There's not always been inter-religious suspicion, intertribal suspicion, but that we find that the rhetoric coming from some unscrupulous political leaders, some unscrupulous religious leaders, some unscrupulous traditional rulers tends to stoke the embers of mutual suspicion, of hatred and distrust, alongst these fault lines. That's one of the root cause. So the engagement with these particular groups of leaders needs to be upskilled, actually. And like I told you, we are engaging them already on various platforms and telling them that what they say, to their people goes a long way to determine whether we would have peace, in this country or not. Okay. And everybody loses in some way when there's no peace.
Let's talk about the efforts of NOA in tackling the issue of the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
We also fused some matters about love around it. That if you love Nigeria, if you love fellow Nigerians, you wear your mask, you don't want to spread COVID-19 or be at risk in the first place of even contracting the virus and so on.
Yes.
So is NOA making efforts, particularly in the area of checking the further spread of COVID-19 and for people to follow the necessary protocols?
We're doing absolutely a whole lot. For instance, on Friday, because February 14th falls on a Sunday, on Friday, the National Orientation Agency's Director General, Dr. Garba Abari, will be flagging off a nationwide Fall in Love with Nigeria campaign tagged, "You have your part to contribute in securing Nigeria and then preventing the spread of COVID-19. Now, as he's doing that at the headquarters in Area 1 on Friday, which is tomorrow, in the 36 states and the FCT, our directorates in these offices would be doing same. They'll be going to mosques around the country and to other places where people, gather to pass on this information in the context of falling in love with Nigeria. The peculiar thing about COVID-19 is this, and why Nigeria has been somewhat lucky in terms of the extremity of the impact of COVID-19 is because we have an interesting population demography. 65 to 67% of our population is youth below the age of 35. And these people are very active. So you're dealing with a population, the greater portion of which has high-level immunity. And where there's high-level immunity, COVID-19 thrives less. So we're not seeing people falling massively and dying on the streets the way we're seeing in other countries, you know. But COVID-19 is real, and it is with us, you know. And what we find is that by the time the PTF begins to implement its plan to carry out no less than 450 tests in the 774 local governments, you would find by the results that will come that a lot of people are asymptomatic. Many Nigerians are carrying this disease and are not coming down because immunity is high. But the danger that lies in that is if you have old folks, your parents, your aunties, who are above 50, 60, 70, then you become a danger to these ones. Now, this is where love comes in. Do not think only of yourself. Think of these loved ones who are elderly and some of whom would have predisposing health challenges, that if you come in contact with them without your mask, without doing the necessary prevention protocols, you could actually cause their death untimely, you know. So this is the challenge.
Okay.
And it's in that context that we're saying, fall in love with your family members, fall in love with Nigeria, adhere to COVID-19 protocols, prevent yourself and others from contracting the disease.
Okay. Now, let's talk about another matter that has been with us for several decades now. There are too many Nigerians who are interested in leaving the country. We already have a large number that are outside the country and doing great in science, in health, and so on, doing so many things. But we still have so many who desire to leave the shores of Nigeria to look for lucrative opportunities and so on. Now, are there efforts to discourage the trend? And what are these efforts?
Well, the truth of the matter, and I have always said this, is that this nation can only be made great by us Nigerians. You're not going to have people from Morocco, from any other country coming over here to make us great. And I've always said that deep down inside, Nigerians love this country. And I give you an example why I say so. Let Nigeria qualify for the World Cup and be playing in the finals. You will find that Nigerians would not want Brazil to beat Nigeria.
Of course not.
We would want Nigeria to win.
Yes, of course.
So it shows you that deep down inside, there's that love, there's that sense of patriotism. But our attention becomes diverted when we begin to hear the wrong narratives and wrong rhetorics coming from some of these quarters that were identified even by Fidel Onyeneke. And that's why we're concerned. And we're saying politicians, religious leaders, and traditional rulers should guard what they say in public, because it resonates with people who believe in them and people who listen to them. I tell you, if you take away all of these divisive narratives and all of that, you would find that across religion, across cultures, you know, across political divides, that we all want Nigeria to win at every point in time. And that signifies love. You cannot be wanting somebody or a country to win if you don't love such persons.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the constitution of our country, Nigeria. That is the document, the most valuable document that brings our country together. But there are many Nigerians that might not know it too well or not very conversant with its provisions and its content and so on. That is why sometimes you even hear some say, you hear people make all manner of divisive statements, make comments that are very illegal or inimical to the unity of the country. What is anyway doing to make Nigerians know the contents of the constitution and also be guided by it?
We are supportive of the efforts to translate the constitution or aspects of it into various languages, you know. And we have a department, a unit in the National Orientation Agency that's called, that's dedicated to social justice, you know. And all of this focus on promoting the knowledge of the law and how it applies. It focuses also on promoting the knowledge of citizens' responsibility. Because you find that a large portion of our citizens always think that the law applies to other people and not to them. We recognize the fact that knowledge of the law is important to compliance. Okay. You can fall in breach even though they say that lack of knowledge of the law is not an excuse, but you can fall in breach if you don't know the law. And that's why we're also concerned about promoting the recent health regulations bill that the president signed, which prescribes punishments for non-adherence to COVID-19 protocols. You know, you can go to jail for